Overthinking. We've all been there, haven't we? Those nights when you lie in bed staring at the ceiling, your mind racing, replaying conversations from earlier in the day, analyzing every little detail, imagining what you should have said, what you could have done differently, what might happen tomorrow, or next week, or next year. It feels endless. One thought connects to another, and before you know it, you're lost in a maze of your own mind. Overthinking doesn't just take away your peace, it steals your time, your energy, and in the end, it makes you feel drained and anxious without giving you any real solution. The truth is, our minds are powerful, but when we let them run wild without control, they can become our own worst enemy. That's why learning how to stop overthinking is not just about calming down in the moment, it's about taking back control of your life. So, why do we overthink? Often, it comes from fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of making the wrong choice. Fear of being judged. Your brain tries to protect you by running through every possible outcome. It thinks it's helping, but really it's like a smoke alarm that won't stop ringing even when there's no fire. The more you feed it, the louder it gets. And the longer you sit with those endless thoughts, the harder it becomes to find clarity. You may think you're solving a problem by turning it over and over in your head, but in reality, you're only digging yourself deeper into worry. The first step to breaking free is recognizing when you're overthinking. That awareness is powerful. When you catch yourself stuck in the cycle, pause for a moment and ask, am I really solving something, or am I just replaying it? More often than not, you'll realize it's the latter. One of the best ways to stop overthinking is to bring yourself into the present moment. Think about it. Most of your worrying is about the past or the future. You replay something that already happened, which you cannot change, or you worry about something that hasn't happened yet, which you cannot control. The present is where you actually have power. So, the next time your thoughts spiral, take a deep breath. Focus on what you can see, hear, feel, and touch right now. That simple act of grounding yourself can pull you back from the endless loop of your thoughts. Another practical step is to take action. Overthinking thrives in stillness. When you sit and do nothing, your mind fills the empty space with noise. But once you take even the smallest action, you interrupt the cycle. For example, if you're overthinking about a project, instead of planning and planning, just start with one small step. Write down an idea. Send an email. Do something. Action creates momentum, and momentum quiets the mind. It also helps to give your thoughts a container. Many people find that journaling works wonders. When you put your thoughts on paper, you free your mind from carrying them all at once. It's like taking heavy bags off your shoulders and setting them down. The act of writing allows you to process, reflect, and let go. Instead of replaying those same worries in your head, you can see them clearly on the page and decide what's actually important. But perhaps the hardest lesson to learn is this: not everything needs an answer. Not every question has to be solved today. Not every problem has to be figured out in your head. Life will unfold whether you obsess over it or not. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is to let go and trust. Trust that you don't need to control everything. Trust that the future will work itself out. Trust that you are capable of handling challenges as they come. That trust, that surrender, is what truly sets you free from overthinking. Of course, this isn't about ignoring your thoughts or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to manage them instead of letting them manage you. It's about balance. Think when you need to think, but don't let your mind hold you hostage. When the overthinking begins, step back and remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. My thoughts don't define me. They are just clouds passing in the sky. That simple perspective can make all the difference. Let me share with you a little story. There was once a young man who spent hours every night lying awake, replaying every mistake he'd ever made. One day, his mentor told him to take a glass of water and hold it out in front of him. The young man did. After a minute, it felt easy. After 10 minutes, his arm began to ache. After an hour, the pain was unbearable. The glass hadn't changed, but the longer he held on to it, the heavier it felt. The mentor said, Your thoughts are like this glass. If you carry them all day, they'll weigh you down. But if you put them down, even just for a little while, you'll feel free again. That's the truth of overthinking. The thoughts themselves aren't always the problem. It's the way we hold on to them. So the question is, will you keep carrying that glass, or will you choose to put it down? Each time you notice yourself spiraling into overthinking, remember you have a choice. You can either fuel the cycle by feeding it, or you can stop, breathe, and let go. The mind is like a garden. If you keep planting seeds of worry, fear, and doubt, those weeds will grow and take over. But if you plant seeds of calm, gratitude, and trust, you'll create a space that nourishes you instead of draining you. And here's the good news. Overthinking is not who you are. It's simply a habit. And like any habit, it can be unlearned with practice. Start small. Catch yourself once today. Take one deep breath. Write down one worry. Shift your focus once to the present moment. These little steps, repeated daily, can slowly rewire your brain to think differently. At the end of the day, life is too short to spend it trapped in the prison of your own thoughts. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve to live fully in the present moment. So the next time your mind begins to spin out of control, remember, you are stronger than your thoughts, and you have the power to quiet them. Don't let overthinking steal your life. Take back the reins, one thought at a time, and move forward with peace in your heart.